Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Oscar with Third Pedal Fox Bodies, and in this episode I'm going to talk to you guys about why I was so up and up about the wiring issue with this car and why it has been so hard for me to really dial in what has been happening with this car on and off in my last 3 years of ownership. And in this video I'm going to explain to you guys everything from top to bottom, because I think it is very important for those of you who are getting into Fox bodies to understand wiring is one of those things in these cars that can get a little tricky. And if you buy a car that has already been modified, it is super important for you to be able to distinguish what has been touched and what has been bothered to a car that has not. So stay tuned and I will explain to you guys all the trials and errors that I have gone through with this notchback. So when I bought this notchback, I knew it came with some issues and I knew it had some wiring that needed to be cleaned up. It already came with the battery relocated in the back. And when I opened up the interior of the car, this car didn't come with these seats. It came with some seats that are really, really bad. But I also did notice that the computer was on the ground, that it didn't come with air conditioning, that it didn't have some of the stuff that you see on correctly. And also it didn't come with door panels. Well, it did come with one door panel, and this is kind of what the car looked like. And although the interior wasn't the important part for me, this is what I really was concerned about. When I first bought this car, my number one thing when I talked to the seller was, does the car run? Does the car start? And he said yes. So I bought this car sight unseen. I bought it off of OfferUp. The car was posted for about $5,800, and I was able to get this car for $4,800, just the way you see it. Now, although it didn't look as clean as it is now, I've cleaned it several times. It was dusty and crusty, and really this is what the car came with, other than, and I will explain, the caster camber plates and the new strut shocks I put on there, okay? Now, one of the things I did notice about the car is that the car did come with the little wire tuck, and then there were some wires like this that was just kind of hanging around. And I thought to myself, you know what, that's a little sketchy, but you know what, having some upgraded parts already, I thought to myself it was a good deal. $4,800 for a notchback, that's not too bad. Although that the body kit on the notchback does kind of lose a little bit of the value of the car for some people. For me, I really didn't care because I hadn't been in a Fox body in a very, very long time. So I just wanted to have a Fox body. And my only concern was for the car to start. So when I went to go see the car for the first time, it had a fuel leak back there, so I couldn't really drive the car. But I did hear it crank, I did hear it turn on, and I was excited for that. The next thing I noticed, I started writing down all the things that this car came with, like the lower upper, the mass airflow, it had the cold air intake, it had headers, and I just noticed that it had a little mini wire tuck. I said, man, somebody has gone through the trouble of doing all these little things to this car already. So that kind of excited me. You know, it had some nice headers, it had some Ford Racing wires. It looked like they upgraded the fuel injectors. So for me, that was pretty cool. Now, one of the other things that I wasn't really too excited about, it was that there was a lot of parts inside of the car that were kind of mismatched, and there was no back seats. It was missing the quarter panel. It had this quarter panel right here, which I do have, and the headliner was kind of beat up, so I kind of took it off. It was missing some of these covers right here for the speaker covers. It was missing that whole door panel over there. And it was missing a bunch of interior parts that, for me, at the moment, I really didn't care about. I really wanted to make sure that this car ran, and that was my number one concern. I really didn't even pay attention to how bad the wiring was and how stuff was just kind of hanging around, as you guys can see down here. But when he turned the car on and I heard the car start for the first time, I say, you know what, this car is going to be for me. Shortly after I got the car, I noticed that there was another fuel leak right behind the gas tank after I had fixed the crossover line that was leaking in the front. So once I fixed that fuel line that was leaking, you know, the car started, it ran great. I was excited. I took it around the block. I went, I pumped gas in it. I was really excited. And then I asked my brother-in-law if he wanted to see what the car felt like. He took it around the block, and then boom, the car shut off and never turned back on. And that's when the issue started. So now initially we looked at the car and we just thought, you know what, the car's not starting because it probably had low fuel or whatever, and we checked the fuel, everything was great, and the car still wouldn't start. So a few weeks went by, somebody said, oh, it's probably your cap and rotor because this one came with the MSD. Check that, check your coil. I checked the coil, I checked all of it. I checked everything that I thought could be wrong with the car, and the car still wouldn't crank. Somebody even told me it might be the fuel pump, and I just, I couldn't believe it. I took the fuel tank down and I checked the fuel pump, and it still would not crank. So a few months went by and I really didn't even touch the car. The car just basically sat, and it sat and it sat and it sat until one day, a year and a half later, I decided to put up a post, see if anybody here in the Arizona area can help me figure this thing out, because I had already had a guy come. He already put the car in timing. Somebody told me it was a timing. Somebody told me it was a distributor. I changed the distributor myself. I couldn't set the timing on the car properly, so I had somebody come and check that. And they told me that they did their job and bye-bye. But the car never really stayed on and never ran. And I was just kind of frustrated with the car. A few months more went by, and finally somebody was able to help me out. Big shout out to Roberto, because he was able to figure out what was wrong with this car. Part of the thing that was wrong with the car was the computer, which sat down here. And we had to get a different computer. A fusible link that was messed up there was wrong with the car. And man, I have gone through so much. So in late 2025, I decided that I wanted to go to a car show, and I started cleaning this car up. As you guys can see, if it's a little shiny, it didn't look nothing like this, believe me. I started trying to clean it up, show it some love, and the day of the car show, the car would not crank, and I just thought to myself, man, what the heck? So the first thought I had, I was like, man, did I move any of the wires? Did I move the computer? Did I mess with anything down there? I saw that wire just hanging down there. I was cleaning up the car as best as I could, and man, I was showing it so much love that, man, the car, for some reason, the same day, it wouldn't crank. I looked over here and I thought, man, is anything moved? Did I move anything? And I ended up not going to the car show, and I just thought to myself, maybe the battery's down, maybe the battery's bad. So I grabbed a bigger battery. Somebody told me to check the inertia switch back there. I checked the inertia switch. And the only thing I remember doing to this car and messing with the wiring was, man, these wires were all over the place, and I just wanted to kind of keep them wrapped together. So I just put a little bit of electrical tape, wrapped them together. And, I put this stuff online, and a lot of people were like, oh, is these connectors right here? Oh, is this wire? And I just really could not figure out what was wrong with this car. So I started doing what everybody does. I started looking online. I started asking people. I started buying a voltmeter. Then I bought one of these right here. And then I started going through the wiring. I started trying to probe. I was trying to really figure out what the heck was going on with this car. I knew that the issue was going to be somewhere right here down in the wiring. And honestly, it wasn't until, if you guys have watched the last episode, I set out to just kind of understand what this car was. And I come to realize that somebody has swapped the wire harness from a 1988 FOXBODY, which this is, to a 1993. Along with that, they switched up these fenders, the front bumper, the two doors, the GT graphics, and the tail lights, leaving the car without any of this stuff on. And that's basically how I bought the car. Now, was that an issue for me? It was not a big issue for me, but I just really needed to understand what this car was so I could be able to diagnose and figure out what has been wrong with this car this whole time. And part of the issue was that everybody online kept telling me, oh, look for the fuel pump relay. It's probably going to be the relay. And then they told me it might be this relay right here, the ECC relay, which I checked, and it worked. And man, it has been such a hassle, such a battle with this car. So finally I got under the car right here. I checked the fuel pump with the probe. I wanted to see if there was current running all the way back to the fuel pump. And when I checked the fuel pump light, the light wouldn't come on. And I'm thinking that now the issue is the fuel pump. But why did I go on this whole rant about everything that's been going on with this car? Is because, guys, if you guys are buying one of these cars, buy something that's semi-stock or something that has like a build sheet or something that somebody built, that somebody that has put the money and effort to take care of. That way you're not lost, you're not guessing what type of car it is. And that leads me to this car right here. This car right here is a 1991 FOXBODY Mustang. Is completely stock other than some headers, and I will show you. If you guys are on the market for a FOXBODY, try to get you something like this, something that's complete, something that's gonna need minor work. Well, let me say it again. This isn't minor work, but something that at least hasn't been touched or unbothered as much. As you guys can see, this is a pretty complete car. No wiring has been stripped. No, the battery isn't on this car, but as you guys can see, most of everything is fully stock. And I think from now on, next purchase I get has to be a car that's basically unbothered, because ever since I've owned this car, I haven't really been able to enjoy it because it's just been work, 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 work. And although it is a nice car, and although I do love it, and I don't plan on selling it, I do want to enjoy it. Man, just the fact that the car does not run or it hasn't started in a while is something that has really taken the joy out of owning this FOXBODY. I think the joy of owning a FOXBODY is not only working on it, but actually enjoying it, driving it, having fun with it, taking it to a car shows, maybe taking it to the track here and there, burning some rubber on it, whatever. But the point is that now that I've discovered a little bit of the history of the car, now I'm a little bit more comfortable knowing in what direction to go with this build. So guys, if you guys have been following along, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in on this video. On the next video, I am going to drop the gas tank. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much. Please share, like, and subscribe for those of you who are new to the channel. I've been having my channel for a little bit already, but I really haven't posted because I didn't think some of my stuff is worthy. But as time continues to go by, I think that some of the stuff that I talk about can definitely help you guys out. So if you guys appreciate this content, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and share, subscribe. So thank you all. I'll see you guys on the next video.